What's up everyone, welcome back. Greece by Round A Leeds here in the UK. Professor Mike, Coach T, still doing them out, still doing attacks today, looking at the Americana, but with a twist. Check it out. Okay, I have Coach T laid down here for me. And what we're aiming for here is we're going to go for the Americana, but look, it's a pretty low percentage submission. You might catch someone new, but anyone stronger than you or experienced is not going to give you this position because they know the shoulder's weak at that point, okay? Let's move this way a little bit. So we're going to come into the mat. Remember, in order to attack submissions, I ought to be thinking about getting to the high mount first. This is a funny one. You don't need to be too high for the Americana. But I need to be high enough that I'm not concerned around my opponent bridging me up and escaping this position. There's no point attacking arms here for him to collect my arm, ooper, and escape this position. There's no point. All right, think about maintaining the position first. So I want to do a little bit of work. I'm going to make sure that I'm being systematic. I'm going to come high in my opponent's mount, getting to a point where I feel like I've got a nice balance between attacking options and stability. I'm no longer overly concerned about my opponent's ability to bridge me off or to hip escape from here. When we're attacking the Americana, 9 times out of 10 when we get to this position, our opponent's going to lock up. They know what's coming. If they're loose here, man, I'm going to take a collar choke all day long. I'm going to go to the S-mount like we did yesterday. They're not going to be keeping their arms kind of loose. They're going to lock in super tight, and it can be quite hard to shift these arms to get underneath to the S-mount. You can always get, if it's super tight, through to the collar, always. And that should be one of your primary attacks. That's why we did it on Monday. But let's say they're super tight. I'm going to hunt and look for the top arm. The arm that's crossed on top of this X like this. I'm going to go 2-on-1. Now, when we go 2-on-1 and we push this down to the floor, 2 things. Make sure your knee's out of the way. It needs to come back slightly to give you room. If you're so high, you're trying to push this down into your own leg, it's not going to work. So when I'm here, I make sure I'm not that high. That's why I said at the beginning, it's kind of a bit of a balance point, that I can't get this elbow to the mat. The other thing, I want to make sure my elbows are into my hips, because I might have to put maximal body weight on here. Okay, I might have to, if this guy's strong, I might have to get my elbows into my own hips, sit up and actively push my own body weight the whole way down to get this to the mat. All right, it won't be enough sometimes just to push. Oh, it's my arms against his arm, okay? He might be stronger than me, bigger than me. So look, elbows into my hips, grip around the wrist, grip on the forearm, thumbs in. Here, look. I elevate, I place all my weight down, pinning this to the mat. As soon as this goes to the mat, my elbow will drop to the same side as his head. All right, this is the position nearly locked up. Once we're in this position, this hand comes underneath, but before that, I pin with my head to the mat, providing additional leverage and a pinning position against this wrist. That's the key thing. I want to keep this angle here. If he's able to straighten his arm, he can escape. You have to go to different options. So if I can pin this here, I will. I'll come underneath and grip my own wrist, making sure his elbow is on the outside of my arm. If it's on the inside, he will pull down and escape the position. Elbow must be on the outside of the arm. Okay, the head's still in place. At this point, I'll likely lower my mount to get that grapevine hook we spoke about, to deny my opponent's ability to bridge and to connect my hips to him. At this point, I pull back down and elevate, and that's what gives me the tap. So from here, I go down, elevate, and there's the tap. Okay? If you get the finish, fantastic, but it's a low percentage. There's no, a high-level player is not going to allow me a 2-on-1 grip here. The second I do this, they're going to do something different and move. But what this can do is create a really good reaction for us to take the back. That's what we're going to look at. So maybe I'm going to go for the Americana, but I've got in my mind now that if my opponent escapes in a predictable way, and it is predictable, then I'm going to take advantage of that. It looks like this. Everything's the same. In, pin down. Head does the job. I'm going to slide down, take my position. My opponent's going to reach over to grab their own wrist. If they don't do this, I'm going to slide down and finish. So invariably they will reach over. I re-grip on my opponent's new wrist that they've presented to me. come round underneath the head to the gift wrap position. A very, very strong position, okay, giving me great control of my opponent's posture, okay. No, I'm still underneath this arm. Okay, from here, I'm going to place my hand behind my opponent's elbow, give me a 2-on-1 position, slide up, and roll them so I'm in technical mount. The reason I come here is that I want to chair sit to the back. Okay, we don't want to be trying to roll to the back from here onto your back and pulling them on top. They're going to turn into your closed guard. So look, I'm going to come to a high mount on this side, step to technical mount, rotate my opponent. That's why we need 2-on-1. Lots of different options now. I can pull here, I can roll through. I like to come underneath and connect my hands. There's a reason for this. All right, will become apparent in a moment. So now, chair sit to the back. All I do is sit down on my butt, pull my opponent onto my lap, and roll to the far side, either taking body triangle, foot on the hip, whatever. But I've got a great back position from here. Okay, we're going to just switch around. Coach T said on this side this time, so we can get to that back position. Okay, so Americana, high mount, press down, get the position. Comes across to escape. We're going to come through into this gift wrap. Remember when we do, re-grip on the wrist first, then round to the head. So here look, re-grip to the wrist, come through, gift wrap, hand on the elbow, technical mount, turn my opponent, come through, re-grip, okay, sit down, chair sit. Now the beautiful thing about re-gripping underneath is it gives us an instant re-pummel on my opponent's arm. This will give me a window of opportunity to get straight through to the strangle. Okay, so when we re-grip from the gift wrap and we've got the options, I like to come underneath to here. So when I chair sit through, I already re-pummel into a finish. Okay, a little detail there in transition. All right, one more time all the way through. You must actively go for the Americana. Make your opponent think that's what you want. Okay, so however you get to your high mount, okay, let's say we're here, I'm being systematic, pulling up, creating space. Come high. My opponent defends in the way that you can predict. They're going to come nice and tight. Top arm, use my body weight, place it down to the mat. Get into the position for the Americana. Opponent leans over, re-grips. I re-grip on the wrist, come round the head, gift wrap position. Slide to a technical mount, turn my opponent. Re-grip. Let's just turn this way, Coach T. So as we come to technical mount here, I will re-grip underneath to a figure 4 position on my opponent's arm. Give me a seatbelt and a figure 4. From there, I'm going to sit down, pull into my lap, and in the transition, I will re-pummel and create a space for a strangle. Okay, so as I sit through, re-pummel, strangle arm comes in, there's the finish. Happy days. Here we go. So there you go, guys. Quite a lot going on there. Hope you followed it okay. Americana, get the finish if you can, sometimes called the key lock. Your opponent will reach through to grab their arm to defend. A little bit of handwork there. Get the gift wrap, technical mount, re-grip, and in the transition to the back, re-pummel and attack the neck. It's deadly. See you next week. Take care.